Welcome back to Good Day Everyone, coming up on 5:50, and as we said before the break, I am joined with Mulkey, the artist himself. He painted both of these gorgeous pictures, or paintings, I guess, and he will be joining us all morning long. Good morning, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
Excellent, excellent. So you were clearly very talented, as we can tell by both of these paintings. How did you get started painting?
It was after I graduated in 2002, and I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I decided to take up painting. And plus, my mom knew a co-worker that had some leftover art materials, and she was more than happy to give them to me. So that's how I got started.
Very neat, very neat. But you were telling me that you kind of got started with art a little bit before 2002. How did you just find out you had these amazing skills, or how did that work?
Well, at the time I was living in DC, I was 5 years old, and I witnessed my father draw a picture of my sister.
Okay.
And at that age, you know, that was just a wow factor for me. So I decided to draw myself, and then ever since then I was drawing, and I got into other different types of arts and crafts. So that's pretty much how I got started.
Wow. So what type of painting, I guess, painting medium is your favorite?
I like oil paint and water acrylics.
Okay.
Those the two mediums that I mainly use, but I also branch out into other different mediums as well.
Very neat. And you'll be joining us all morning long here on Good Day. Going to do a little painting for us right here in our studio. What will you be painting today?
I'm gonna do a little bit of a jazz theme. I don't really have a clear direction what I'm gonna do, but I'm just gonna wing it.
He's going to let the feeling come to him and whatever he's inspired to do. All right, so you painted both of these paintings. Talk to me a little bit about them.
This one in particularly is, well, of course, it's Nat King Cole.
Right.
And, well, it's a little bit of a story behind this one, because this one is the first one I did after 2 years of not painting at all.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, I just kind of...
It's like riding a bike for you, clearly.
Right. Well, I just kind of lost my inspiration and my enthusiasm a little bit, you know, just going through a little something. But then I kind of snapped out of it, and I wanted to do something that kind of pertains to another, you know, gift that I do, which is music.
Oh my goodness. A man of many talents.
Yes, ma'am. I love to play piano. So Nat King Cole was the first thing that popped in my head. So I looked through some different references, and I found a picture of him. And based on that, I started painting him. And, you know, through the whole process, you know, I was just kind of regaining my inspiration back.
Sure.
And ever since then, you know, every show that I've done, I've taken him with me.
Wow. Isn't that great? Now, you mentioned that you had seen the picture of Nat King Cole. Do you go off of any, I guess, symbol or model or picture when you're painting, or is it all just kind of freehand?
Some of them I go off of picture references, and some of them I just go off the top of my head. I would mainly prefer to do it off of pictures, because I believe I'm able to capture the life in the subject matter that I'm painting off of.
Very neat. So what inspires you to paint?
Pretty much music.
Okay.
Like I said, I love music. I love the fact that music and art goes hand in hand. And whenever I'm painting, I'm listening to music, because that kind of charges me up and gets me in a totally different mind frame.
Well, I don't know if we can have you play any music, or else we might hear the entire show here on Good Day. Maybe we can get you some headphones or something. But you had mentioned that you grew up in DC for a while. How'd you end up down here in Southwest Georgia?
Well, most of the family on my mother's side lives in this area. And before that, you know, my father, he was stationed in the Navy.
Oh, wow.
So we traveled from time to time. And that's pretty much how I got here, his family.
And now you are here on Good Day. As we said, all morning long, he will be painting a picture for us. I'm sure it'll be absolutely beautiful, just like these here. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Yes, we do. Sean Mulkey is here. He is painting all morning long for us here on Good Day. We just found out a little bit about his story, but now we're going to find out some of the tricks of the trade. Sean, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Excellent. So I noticed you've kind of got the painting started here. What kind of inspiration, what kind of painting are we doing today?
We're going to do a little bit of Miles Davis today. You know, I'm in a Miles Davis mood.
All right. Maybe we can get some Miles Davis music coming and playing on in the background or something like that. But you've got, I noticed we have a couple of his paintings here in the studio this morning. And I noticed a lot of kind of two color themes, a lot of black and whites. We have a nice green and white, or excuse me, green and black one back here. Do you kind of stick to the color scheme like that, or how does that work for you?
I was always fascinated with the monochromatic color scheme because of the fact that, you know, it's easy to take multiple colors and put them together in its proper order. But to just come out of the box, I think for me, it's a little bit more of an adventure to take a color and then you take a black or a white and see what else that you can do to expand on it. So I like the monochromatic theme because it may seem like not very many colors, but you can do so much more with it.
Sure, and do you have to kind of shade and tint and work with the colors that way? How does that work?
Well, the first part of my process is I found that if I work with a black background, I'll be able to pull out those colors a lot more because the shadows is already there. So one of the things that I do is I lay the foundation as far as basic color-wise, and then I'll start expanding on that with detail and then adding my little, you know, touch of effects.
Sure, sure. Yeah. So I noticed here we've got the outline of Miles Davis, you said?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you're just kind of sketching out an outline. With paint, you can't go back and erase, so how does that work?
Well, one of the things that I try to put in my mind is that, you know, there's no such things as mistakes. So I kind of take those mistakes and make it something new. And really, I've done a lot of sketching out in the past, but I kind of got it out because it got really boring. So I try to challenge myself to just take the paint straight to the canvas and just kind of let my creativity take me on a journey, you know, versus having a sense of direction, because a lot of times I'll have something played in my head, okay, I'm gonna do it this way, but the creativity within me says, no, go this way.
Sure.
So
and I feel like that's a spur of the moment type of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. I would sketch, but it's just not fun if, you know, I like the journey. Very
cool, very cool. Now, again, black and white paints that we've got working with this morning. What type of paint are you using today?
Today I'm using acrylic paint. It's a water-based. The reason why I'm using it is because it's fast, it's easy to work with, it's fast.
Does it dry quickly? Is that
It does, it does, versus oil paint, which it takes more time to dry. But for the sake of the show, I wanted to go ahead and use a medium that allowed me to work more quickly.
Sounds good. We're hoping you'll be all finished with the painting by the time our show ends. All right, well, you've got lots of paintbrushes. We've got the nice outline of it. You'll be here all morning long for us painting this painting right here. Maybe a little bit later we can get a look at a couple of other paintings that he brought for us this morning. We'll be back with more Good Day after this. Welcome back to Good Day, everyone. We are here with Sean Mulkey, who has been painting hard at work all morning long here on Good Day. It's an early morning, Sean, but you seem to be trucking right along.
Yes, ma'am. I came a long way from the beginning.
Sure, sure. Now, it's looking like a person. It's looking like, you said, Miles Davis?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So tell me a little bit about what you've been painting while we've been doing the news over there.
Just basically painting Miles Davis with his trumpet. You know, usually he'll wear shades and outfit or whatnot. But that's basically what I'm doing, just a basic painting of Miles Davis. And what I'm gonna do is, you know, at the end, I'm gonna add some splashes of color at the end, you know, to give it that pop.
Have you figured out the color you're gonna be using, or is that gonna come to you at the right moment?
Yeah, it'll come to me later on in the process, but right now I'm just trying to get the basic layout down first.
Sounds good. Now we're coming up about the halfway point of our Good Day Morning show. I think you'll be able to finish. What are you thinking?
I'm confident. If
All right, we like to hear that.
If I keep working, then I'll get there.
All right, now once again, you're using acrylic paints, but I noticed you have a lot of different sized paint brushes. Can you explain to us kind of the different techniques that you're using with the paintbrushes? Is one for details, one for more background and shading, or how does that work?
Yes, I do use various different paint brushes to get different effects. Like I use really thin brushes.
Okay, let's show some people watching at home some of the paintbrushes that you have and kind of explain what you have. Because this one, that's a big paintbrush.
Yeah, I pretty much start out with this one to get the the images on a larger space.
Okay.
To get the paint on a larger space. So this will
Makes
pretty much
sense
get
being a bigger paintbrush.
Right. So this pretty much gets the job done. And then for like the finer details, I use a thin brush like this.
Okay. Is this the one you're using right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow.
And particularly for like different facial expressions, like wrinkles in the forehead or
Wow.
wrinkles in the shirt. That'll really help me out a lot. Or sometimes, and it's kind of weird, I'll use really worn out brushes.
Really?
That's really shaggy at the end to kind of give me that rustic look.
Interesting.
So that's one of the techniques that I use.
Very,
with different
very, very
brushes.
interesting. All right, now once again, you are here in Albany now, living here now, but you've had a long history and a long family history of artists. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, I told you in the beginning that I witnessed my father draw a picture of my sister. He really doesn't draw. It was just
Oh.
a spur of the moment. But
Really?
I found out that I have a great auntie who was a painter, and she was an art teacher as well. So that's pretty much where I received the artistic
So it's
side.
in your blood.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very cool. Hoping to pass the tradition on to other people or inspire others.
Yes, ma'am. That's definitely one of the reasons why I do what I do, because I love to inspire other people to paint and draw. And just a quick story, there was a festival that I was a part of, and there was a young girl that came to help me, and she was doing some kind of major. And at the end, it kind of, inspired me. She changed her major over to art.
Wow.
So, I believe
you.
that, I played part in that. I'm not going to claim it all, but, I believe that, it's something about art that really inspires people to really,
Certainly.
try it and, try different avenues.
Well, this inspires me. Maybe I'll go pick up a pen and a piece of paper or something. But Sean, we're going to let you get back to painting. After 7:15, we are here once again with Sean Mulkey. He has been painting all morning long here in our studio. Gorgeous painting, Sean. How have you been doing?
I've been doing great. Steady working.
Looks like you have been just trucking right along.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, now, of course, gorgeous painting that you have here, but you have tons more paintings available on your website that people can purchase. What's that website?
The website is www.wix.com/smokeyart/life. It's pretty long, but I'm working on getting a domain for a real website.
All right, excellent. Well, congratulations. Sounds like you've done lots of progress since 2002, was it, that you said you had started painting?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've got a children's book maybe in the works.
Well, that's not really. It's in the way. It's in progress, but it's
Okay.
not really mine. It's just somebody I'm working with.
Will you be illustrating it though?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very exciting. Can we get a little sneak peek on what the children's book's about?
It's just closed for right now.
Oh, he's keeping it a secret from us. All right, well, Sean, you are extremely talented. You brought a few paintings in with us. We've got this one right here. You're saying music really inspires you. So lots of musical instruments here in this painting. Explain this a little bit to me.
In this particular painting right here, it's just a collage of a lot of legendary saxophone players, trumpet players, clarinet players, and they was very inspirational to me. So I decided to put them all in one big painting, because I couldn't really separate them all because they were just so good. And I arranged them in a way where it's almost as if they're complementing one another. So
Sure.
to have all these, legendary jazz heroes in one painting. It was very inspirational to me.
Is there a soul artist that you think inspires you the most?
One in particularly would be,
Too many of them?
yeah, it's really too many of them. And really, it's not on the top of my head right now. But Duke Ellington.
Okay.
He's very inspirational just in his mannerism and how he handled his other jazz members and things of that nature. So I really take fond of him.
Excellent. Now, these paintings, a lot of them, they're looking a lot like photographs. Like this one up here, the detail's so precise that it almost looks like a photograph. How do you do it?
I believe the technique comes from the background. Usually when I do works of art, I always start with a black background or any other kind of color background because that will secure my shadows, and all I can do is just pull out my light sources from there.
Okay.
And just paying close attention to the fine details as far as creases in the forehead, different lightings and shadows.
Wow.
And I believe what helped me is my development in sketching and drawing and really practicing on that level first before I bring it over to the paint side.
Did you have any type of professional training or just the sketches?
The only training that I really received was in middle school and high school, but after that, I'm pretty much self-taught.
Look at that, so amazing, so talented. All right, we're gonna come back here to your painting. You've gotten the trumpet coming on, Miles Davis himself coming right along. What have you been working on since we last checked into the painting?
Right now, I'm still adding the lighting and some of the little small details was inside the painting, and then after that, then I'm gonna get to the fun part, and that's where I start to add the splashes of color.
Very fun, very fun. Now I just want to show everyone that all he is using is this little picture on a cell phone that he is using, I guess, just kind of for the basic
As a
inspiration.
reference.
The reference, yeah. And the size comparison, you're really doing this all strictly by hand and by touch and I guess by sight?
Right, just pretty much kind of eyeballing, the position of how he's holding the trumpet and the different facial features on his face, and just pretty much eyeballing it.
That is amazing. Now, if I did something like this, I feel like the head would be all out of proportion and the trumpet would be over here. Is there something like, I don't know, ears or hands that you find the hardest to do?
Yes, ears and particularly hair is one of the hardest features to produce in a painting because it's just so many different details that you have to add to it, especially when somebody has long flowing hair.
Sure.
That can get difficult at times.
All right, well, one more time, what was the website that people can go to?
Okay, it's www.wix.com/smulkeyart/life.
All right, well, we will definitely be checking in with you a few more hours left of Good Day. He's going to be hopefully adding some more color shortly to this. About how much longer do you think till then?
It won't be long at all.
All right, well, we're excited. Sean, keep working. You're doing a fantastic job. And we'll be back with more Good Day after this. Welcome back to Good Day, everyone. Once again, we're here with our favorite artist, Sean. He has been diligently painting away over here in our studio all morning long here on Good Day. And looks like we've added the color, Sean.
Yes, ma'am. I decided to go ahead and add the color in early, because sometimes that's how my mind functions. I just want to go ahead and get it in there and see what it'll look like, and then from there, that'll give me some other ideas of where I want to take it. So.
All right. So you usually were saying that you typically do one color, but it looks like we've got two in here.
Yeah, sometimes depending on the subject matter, and also the intensity of what they're doing in the painting, then I'll add multiple colors that kind of signifies different personalities wise. Like if I'm doing a huge jazz band, then I'll do multiple colors just to kind of express the different personalities within each musician.
Okay.
So.
Very, very interesting. Now, you said musicians and music does inspire you the most. Do you play any type of musical instrument?
Yes, ma'am. I play keyboard.
Okay. And did you start keyboarding, I guess, before you started painting? Or how did that timeline of events work out?
I started playing the piano before I got into painting. So I started when I was 11 years old, and then just started developing myself since then. But then when I started painting, I didn't really venture into the jazz painting right away. I kind of did like some family portraits, some still lives. And then that's where, you know, I read this article about this one particular artist that's from this local area.
Oh, wow.
And I saw his, you know, jazz concept paintings. And that really triggered something that, okay, since I do play an instrument
Sure.
and I do love jazz myself, then why don't I paint something that, you know, involves what I also like to do? So,
Bringing the two together.
yes, ma'am.
Very, very neat. Now, you kind of paint as a hobby, I guess a business on the side. Is that what you would call it for now?
Yes, ma'am, for right now.
Okay, but what do you do? How do you fit painting into your everyday life?
Well, you know, besides the job that I work at now, you know, people call me up for consignment work, and I try to work that around my busy schedule, you know, whether it's 2 hours, 3 hours, or whatever time frame that you know, my schedule permits me to work. You know, I try to do it from there. But hopefully and prayerfully, in the long run, I do want to do this full time.
Certainly. Well, we hope for the best for you. Now, it's taken you, I'm assuming, about 4 hours to finish this painting. So you're planning to be done by the time the Good Day show ends today.
Yes.
How long does it typically take you to paint a painting?
Depending on the subject matter, everything that is, you know, required for the painting, usually in average 9 hours.
Oh my
pretty
goodness.
much, you know, nonstop. We're pretty much that is what all it takes for me to finish a painting. Sometimes, you know, depending on the medium, like oil paint will probably take me longer than that, like 2 weeks to 2 months.
Oh my goodness.
That it'll probably take me to finish them.
Because with oil painting, you have to wait for each layer of the paint to dry, correct?
Right,
Okay.
because it's oil based. But you know, it just depends on the artist. Sometimes they can work from beginning to finish, you know, while it's still wet. But it all depends on, you know, your process.
All right, sounds good. Now, my last question is, I've noticed, not necessarily in this painting quite as much, but in some of your others, your lines are so straight. And something about modern art that I always have been very intrigued about is their lines are so straight. You think you go up there with a ruler or something in your paintbrush. How do you all get the lines so straight?
It comes from, you know, just practicing, trial and error, just really learning how to steady your hands and really just concentrating. You know, that's why music, when I'm listening to music, it helps me focus on whatever I'm painting. It kind of gives me that stability when it comes to, you know, steadying my hands when I'm
Sure.
painting. So it's just trial and error.
Well, the painting is looking beautiful. You're doing a fabulous job here on Good Day. Thank you so much. Sean Mulkey, once again, here all morning long on Good Day, doing this painting right in front of our eyes, kind of chopping it up for you all at home. But we'll be back with more Good Day after this.
I'm doing pretty good.
All right, now you are very involved in the community as well as through your paintings, part of the D-Town Arts Coalition.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you get involved with that?
Well, it started with the first Nights at D-Town event downtown, and one by one I met up with some of the members of the D-Town Arts Coalition, and then eventually we all met up and we decided to really do something for this community to bring more art culture. So we decided to create this organization called the D-Town Arts Coalition. It consists of 6 of us. And from there, we just been breaking ground. We had our first show back in October, I believe, which is the Super Fancy, if I'm not mistaken. And then the second show followed after that, which was Blam. And now we're doing some other things that's in the workings right now.
Very neat. So you're one of the almost the founding fathers of this coalition.
Yes, ma'am.
How can other artists who are watching and are inspired by you, how can they get involved?
Like the first show, we had the membership drive,
Okay.
where we had an application. They can contact key people within the organization and get some information from there. And that's pretty much it.
So definitely get involved with those key people. All right, so you talked about the very first show. Obviously, the nights at D-Town, are they still going on every Friday night?
Yes, ma'am. It's just
Okay.
right now because of the holidays. No, we're not.
Things are slowing down a little bit.
Right.
Understandable. And the Blam Arts Festival was just recently.
Yes.
You got another one coming up, but where else can people see some of your artwork?
They can also see some of our artwork at Tattoo Parlor. It's called Heart and Dagger off of Westover Road, on the same plaza as Papa John's Pizza.
Okay.
Yeah, they can go there and get some information. It's also for sale.
Wow, very
So
cool. And again, you have your website. Name that website one more time.
It's www.wix.com/smokeyart/life.
All right.
And then you can also check me out on Facebook as well.
Oh, so many ways to get in touch with him. Sounds great, Sean. Now, again, so talented. No formal training, correct?
No.
So how did you get involved in arting, painting?
Well, in high school, they pretty much just let me do what I wanted as far as art class, because they saw that, I had that raw talent.
Sure.
So I just started exploring different mediums like oil crayon and watercolor. And then soon after I graduated, like I said, my mom's coworker gave me numerous supplies of paint, easel, canvases, and from
Wow.
there,
What a
that's when I
gift.
started developing my talent.
All right, now talk to me a little bit about this painting. You are inspired, again, by the jazz artists. You've been painting it all morning. It looks like it's almost done.
Yes, it's about to reach that end point. Still got some ways to go, but not a lot. But really just working off the top of the head as far as creative wise. Probably going to add some splashes of red into it to really, give it, a more, appealing look.
All right.
But I just decided to go with a blue and red and black color scheme because I think.
Sure. Well, it is absolutely gorgeous. I certainly am not able to do that. We're going to check in one more time with you before our show is out. But thank you so much, Sean, for coming on this morning. One more time, what was your website?
It's www.wix.com/SeanMulkeyArt/life.
All right, and we'll be back with more Good Day after this. And of course, our wonderful artist, Sean, he has been here all morning long since the 5 o'clock hour. I'm sure many of you were not up awake watching the show at that time, if you're still watching now. But this is his finished painting. It is absolutely beautiful. Sean, tell us a little bit about your painting.
Well, when I first got here, an idea really didn't come to mind. Then at the last minute, I thought Miles Davis, because I really enjoy his music. So I always wanted to do another Miles Davis piece. So during creating this piece, there were some colors that came to mind with some red and some blues and some whites and with a black background.
Sure. And you had mentioned you usually do monochromatic. You added a couple other colors in for this one. Why did you decide to do that today?
It's just my creativity told me to. It's just
The
took over.
colors spoke to him. That's, I think, what it was.
Yes, pretty much.
All right. Well, this is actually still wet. As we said, he painted it here on Good Day this morning. And you have lots of other paintings behind us and all around our studio this morning. But this table is a little different. It's not on a traditional canvas. We're going to lift it up for you so you all can see, because this is absolutely beautiful. Tell me a little bit about this one now.
This was actually for the show back in October, the Super Fancy.
And that's all part of the D-Town Arts Coalition, correct?
Right, correct. And I really wanted to do something different this time. I wanted to paint on a piece of furniture. I had an old no, I had this table in my storage, and
Wow.
I was like, okay, well, let me go and get it and see what I can do with it. So from there, you know, I put some primer on it, and then from there I just started painting on it, and then this is the end result.
And gave it a beautiful makeover.
Yes.
All right. So can someone, if somebody sees this and they want this in their kitchen, can they call you up and you'll paint it for them?
Sure.
All right.
Absolutely.
And your website, one more time. I know we've mentioned it a few times during the show this morning.
It's no problem. It's www.wix.com/smulkeyart/life.
All right. And you can do any type of paintings for people?
Sure. Anything they want.
All right, I'm assuming it's a little too late for a Christmas present, but maybe you can get this. This would be a great present for somebody for next year, something like that.
Yes, it would.
All right, now talk to me a little bit about some of these paintings behind us, because as we've been seeing, he's been painting all morning long, but you have some beautiful finished products, all kind of jazz music inspired.
Yes. Yes, jazz is pretty much my niche, but that's not the only subject matter that I do. I also do, you know, landscapes, family portraits, still lives. But this one, you know, and particularly these subject matters.
we'll be Vanna White here for you.
I love, like I said, I love jazz. I love music because what it does to me personally, you know, it's like therapy for me. And not only just painting them, but also doing the research about them. You know, a lot of times, you know, a person, you know, paints, and particularly, you know, an iconic person or individual, you know, and they don't really do the research on it. So I think it's more respectable if you research the person and then paint them, so that way you'll, you know, have a better, you know, I guess, inner relationship, you know, with, you know, whoever you're painting, and then, you know, you'll be able to bring more life out of the painting.
So it's not just a pretty picture, there's a story behind it.
Right, you know, and so as you're painting, you know, it's almost as if you're unfolding, there's a story behind it.
Very interesting. Well, you are so talented. Thank you so much, Sean, for coming in tonight. Carrie, real quick, how's the weather looking for this afternoon?
Weather's looking kind of dismal this afternoon. We've got lots of clouds moving into the area already, and they're going to stick around through the next few days. If we look at that 7-day forecast real quick, better chance of rain comes in tomorrow. We're going to stay a bit warm and muggy through the holiday weekend, and then we'll start to cool things off just a little bit to a more seasonable feel. 30% chance of precipitation, then clear things out on Tuesday.
All right, so grab that umbrella if you're heading out.
That's true.
All right, well, sounds good. We'll be here once again tomorrow morning. I think we've got another good show tomorrow.
We always have a good show, Melanie.
Of course, always. All right, well, same time,
see you in the
same
morning
place.
at
We'll
5.
see you tomorrow at 5 a.m.